welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Here we have dates. This is probably my 8th one in about 10 minutes. And it makes me excited about all the tropical fruits that are yet to be down my throat in the future. There's so many tropical fruits out there that I don't even know about. My favorite fruits are waiting to meet me. They're waiting for me at the airport. Can you imagine? So today's video is about my spiritual awakening. And so 2 days ago, I was doing some yoga on the floor, some stretching at the end of the day, and I was listening to a psychic medium on the Danny Morel podcast. And I really, really love Danny Morel's podcast. And they were just talking, and of course, because it's spirituality, it's a conversation about becoming or about stepping into like godly gifts and such. It was a high vibe conversation, and in that atmosphere, as I was on the floor, I realized, oh shit, this is what it is. This is my spiritual awakening, and what I've been going through these past couple of months, these past couple of weeks is my spiritual awakening. And when I look back at the last couple of months, I can see the signs, There's that search for meaning, that search for more, that search for spirituality, the confusion as well. The other day, Sunday, I was talking to my pen pal, and I was like, what? I feel very, very confused about life. Like, I have so many questions. I have so many questions that I had before, but the meaning this time, the weight of these questions is very, very different. It's much heavier this time around. I'm looking outside. I'm like, what is this all for? What we doing? What am I doing? Why are we here? Why is there so much conflict? Why is there so much violence? Is the world changing? Is the world in danger? And of course, within that, weave through those questions is, of course, a lot of fear. And throughout the last couple of months, I've experienced many, many highs and many, many lows to do with letting go, to do with shedding some of the beliefs that I had, some of the relationships that I had, some of the trauma that I had, and making space for something new, which is ultimately love, but it's like a new perspective on that relationship, and then pouring love into that relationship, or aspects of myself, pouring love into that area. Last year, I was doing a lot of inner child healing. And again, so it points to a desire to find out the truth and to let go of the things that I have been rooted to for so long. So I'm like, whoa, this is what it is. And I feel lighter already because I can name it. I know what this is now. I know who I am. I still need to surrender to it. I still can't do what I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even 5 years ago, even 6 months ago. I can't do that. So there's still work to be done. But I feel lighter knowing that, okay, this is not new. This experience, this thing that I'm going through, this awakening that I'm going through is not new to anyone on earth. And it's common. People are doing it all around the world, and people have been doing it. And the mentors that I tune into, the spiritual guides that I listen to, they've all had their version of spiritual awakening. And another reason why I know it's also happened to me, because I'm listening to a lot of content around spirituality. I'm trying to understand what is God and what's the meaning of life. What does it mean to be a manifester? What does it mean to live in abundance? What does it mean to live aligned? These are big questions that will come, that will be answered as I continue to go through my awakening. And yesterday I was speaking to my friend, and they said to me, I think what you're actually going through is the dark night of the soul. And I didn't really know what the definition of the dark night of the soul was. So I was watching videos and content and explanations for about like 3 hours last night. And I could well be going through my dark night of the soul. However, today, how I feel, because I was able to name this period as my spiritual awakening, I feel a lot lighter. So if anything, I'm able to wake up. For the last 3 nights, I've been waking up with gratitude as opposed to waking up with despair and then finding gratitude or finding courage or finding a higher vibration. And so maybe right before I read Letting Go by, what's his face, David Hawkins, my constant was probably more fear, more anger, more confusion, more despair. And I mentioned this in a couple of videos ago. My default state, without trying, was actually despair. And then despair is so uncomfortable for me to stay there because I know everything after despair comes more despair, and I feel trapped in that despair. So it's really important for me always to work my way up, get more energy in my body, and get more excitement and more joy and more positivity into my life, so that I'm not operating from as much despair. Because for me, in my body, despair is very debilitating. I've never been in this place before. If this is my dark night of the soul, one guide and coach yesterday said regarding the dark night of the soul, it's worth approaching it with a lot of play and a lot of curiosity. And that's what I kind of have been doing. I try to be positive about these things and not stay in a low vibration. But now, again, because I have the language to name it, I know what it is. I can say, okay, yeah, I'm trying to be playful about this. I'm trying to be curious about this, like a child, really, and see what happens from there. But yeah, it's half of me is wondering, when is it going to end? And half of me is wondering, who am I going to become after this? I do feel like that itch, to experience more and to really like contribute more to the world and know myself a lot more. So I do feel that almost, yeah. What's it? I'm a caterpillar. I'm a caterpillar in my cocoon, and I'm waiting to just kind of burst through and experience the world in a new way. So that's where I'm at. This is a new conversation. I've never really spoken to anyone about this apart from my friend yesterday, and that was a really great conversation that we had. But let me know if you guys have experienced this. I hear that, or I learned yesterday that the dark night of the soul can happen several times in your lifetime. So have you guys ever experienced a dark night of the soul before? What was it like for you? One thing I didn't really relate to was a sense of depression. I don't think I've woken up depressed, and I don't feel like I have been depressed. Very low vibe, very maybe sad, feelings of hopelessness and feelings of like being forsaken or being forgotten by God, and being abandoned really by the universe. That was a common emotion, especially during the winter periods, where again it was a dark period. It's a very like dark period energetically. Like I was thinking, why am I not on my island? Why am I not on my tropical island yet? Why am I not living the life that I want to be living? What's going wrong? Despite my efforts, what the results? Show me. So that was my general feeling. And again, I can see from my attitude, I'm a lot lighter about it. And thankfully, I started the healing process with therapy a few years ago. And then last year with going raw vegan, things just opened up my mind. And I was like, ugh. So there's a lot of things that have been healed. But again, there are more things to be healed. So yeah, just maybe to end on a high, I celebrate the wins, and the wins will be the healing wins. So I guess healing my relationship with men, healing relationship with my dad, and that representation of like masculine authority, letting go of the foods that no longer serve me, and not being afraid to do the healing work, not being afraid to assert my boundaries or to communicate how I feel, or to step back from, let's say, ego-led actions or habits, and really try to rein in that ego as much as I can. So far so good, and I'm optimistic. Literally, that's the best I can do, is at least be optimistic, at least try to be courageous about what's happening in the future. Anyways, that was it. Ramble done. I feel healthy, I feel radiant, my skin is looking more, let's say, more like a co-creator, more like I'm able to call things in, and I'm very like curious about what the universe has in store as we hit the spring. I feel like I've been aligned with the season. So winter was very dark, and now that we've hit spring, now that it's sunny outside, clear skies, that is really reflective of my spiritual awakening journey and my state. So I feel like, okay, things have taken root, changes are beginning to take place. Things have already germinated, and now they're kind of coming through to the surface. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Always, let me know what else you want to hear from me. Let me know your thoughts on your spiritual awakening. Have you had it before? And any advice, any guidance, any things that have helped you. It'd be great to hear your thoughts and your journey so far. Until the next one, guys. Ciao.